Once upon a time, in the dark and tumultuous period of the Middle Ages, the Catholic Church wielded immense power and influence over the people of Europe. One of the most notorious chapters in the history of the Church during this time was the Inquisition. The Catholic Inquisition was a series of institutions within the Catholic Church that were established to combat heresy and enforce religious conformity. It began in the 12th century and continued for several centuries, reaching its peak during the 16th and 17th centuries. The Inquisition was a brutal and oppressive system that used torture, imprisonment, and execution to root out and punish those deemed to be heretics. It targeted not only individuals who openly opposed the teachings of the Church, but also those who held beliefs that were deemed to be contrary to Catholic doctrine. The methods used by the Inquisition were barbaric and inhumane, with accused individuals often subjected to horrific forms of torture in order to extract confessions. Those who refused to recant their beliefs were often burned at the stake or otherwise executed in public spectacles designed to strike fear into the hearts of the population. So, how did the Inquisition agents know someone was a heretic? Well, the agents were well trained in the art of capturing heretics, their methods honed through years of experience. They knew how to identify a Protestant with just a glance, their keen eyes able to detect even the slightest hint of dissent. Sometimes it was the way a person spoke, their words betraying a belief in doctrines that went against the teachings of the Catholic Church. Other times, it was the way they dressed, their clothing subtly hinting at a faith that was not in line with the official doctrine. Once a potential heretic was identified, the agents would move in quickly, surrounding their target and cutting off any chance of escape. They would then interrogate the individual, probing for any signs of Protestant beliefs and looking for evidence to support their suspicions. If the agents were convinced of the person's guilt, they would then take them into custody, leading them away to face trial before the Inquisition. The accused would be subjected to harsh questioning and often torture in an effort to extract a confession and root out any other heretics who may be lurking in the shadows. For the agents of the Catholic Inquisition, capturing their victims was a dangerous and often deadly game. But they believed they were doing God's work, rooting out heresy and protecting the faithful from the dangers of Protestantism. And so they continued their hunt, relentless in their pursuit of those who dared to defy the teachings of the Church. In the lush and picturesque region of southern France, a group of people known as the Cathars thrived in the 12th and 13th centuries. The Cathars were followers of a Christian sect that believed in dualism, the idea that there were two opposing forces in the universe, one good and one evil. They rejected the material world and believed in the importance of spiritual purity and godliness. The Cathars lived simple lives. They shied away from wealth and material possessions. They were known for their pacifism, vegetarianism, and commitment to living in harmony with nature. Despite their peaceful and just beliefs, the Cathars were viewed as heretics by the Catholic Church. The Church saw the Cathars as a threat to its authority and sought to eradicate them through the use of force. In 1209, Pope Innocent III launched a crusade against the Cathars, known as the Albigensian Crusade, which resulted in the brutal massacre of thousands of Cathars and the destruction of their communities. In the first year of the armed assault, mercenaries gathered around the town of Béziers, their weapons at the ready, awaiting the command to attack. Among them, a group of commanders grew uneasy as they realized there was no way to distinguish between the Cathars and the Catholics within the town. They feared the consequences of attacking indiscriminately, unsure of who they would be harming. The tension in the air was palpable as they grappled with this moral dilemma, unsure of how to proceed. They asked their spiritual advisor, the Cistercian monk Arnaud Amore, how they should go about their dilemma. Legend has it that he spoke the fateful words, "Kill them, for the Lord knows who are his." These words have been remembered through generations, eventually becoming the well-known slogan, "Kill them all, and let God sort them out." On July 22, 1209, was a day filled with bloodshed and destruction, as an estimated 20,000 people, nearly the entire population of the city, were mercilessly slaughtered. The once bustling streets were now filled with the cries of the wounded and dying, as the city was razed to the ground and reduced to ashes. It was a day that would forever be remembered as a dark chapter in the history of Béziers. The campaign of shock and awe swept through the region, leaving destruction in its wake. The gentry and noblemen in the south of France, who were still standing after the onslaught, were forced to negotiate a peace treaty in 1229. However, it was more of a surrender pact than a peaceful agreement. The landowners had no choice but to cede control of their property to the nobles who had financed the attacking army. And so, the balance of power shifted in the region, leaving the defeated gentry and noblemen at the mercy of their conquerors. Despite the persecution they faced, the Cathars continued to practice their beliefs in secret, passing down their traditions through oral teachings and hidden texts. Today, the legacy of the Cathars lives on in southern France, where their memory is honored and celebrated by those who remember their courage and resilience in the face of persecution. The persecution of the Cathars by the Catholic Inquisition remains a dark chapter in the history of the Church, while the story of the Cathars serves as a reminder of the dangers of religious intolerance and the importance of respecting the beliefs and practices of others. That's it on this history crime story. If you did enjoy this video, kindly comment, like, and subscribe for more. See you on the next one, and lead with love.